Page 7 of the Kurukulla Center prayer book. We'll start with refuge and bodhicitta on page 7, and then follow the order of the prayer book for regular Sunday morning prayers. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shaka clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O Supreme, among humans you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Thus free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the Founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to dustness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path to sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sublime dignity and ending virtue I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms atoms in all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all-seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the waves of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of guns, protectors start to tip of this fresh, pure white heat, curved like cloud. O Sangraka, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead on thy throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with delight. Pray stay hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. It feels for mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of nobles. Your eloquent speech adorns fortune it is. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted 3 vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned 8 mundane concerns, made life essence full. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable Gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray lose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make venerable O Sangraka's essential teachings specially shine forever. May say way ter chen chen rizik, dream kien pei wang ko jam del yang, tu pung ma lu jom ze sang wei dak, gang chen ke pei su gen song kapa, lo sang dra pei jab la so adep. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. look perfectly like this, subsequently looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form, form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomena. There is no I element and so forth up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance and so forth up to no aging and death and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation and no death, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, Bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom. And because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequal mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering since it is not false should be known as the truth. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata, gate, gate, paragate, parasangate, bodhisoha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. And the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the three places, Dakinis, Akasamarata Shadarasamaya.
Akasamaranda Shadarasamaraya Pe.
Tayata Om Gati Gati Paragati Parasamgati Bodhisoha. Through the power of truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shanti Puriye Soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse harmful conditions, may all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here, right now.
Sa Sanje Chirang Sozi Chonara Chachu Varu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chushi Jire Sonamki Dola Benjo Sanje Durvasho Sanje Chirang Sozi Chonama Chachu Varu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chushi Jire Sonamki Dola Benjo Sanje Durvasho Sanje Chirang Sozi Chonama Chachu Varu Dani Kapsuchi Dagi Chushi Jire Sonamki Dola Benjo Sanje Durvasho. Good morning, everyone. It's nice weather.
Yeah, very nice.
Or getting cold.
Very nice.
It's chilly. It's time to go beach. Yeah, this weather is sometimes very easy to change, right? Anyway, it's nice. We all come back together. If you like to sit on the chair, you're welcome. Okay? You don't have to go too serious, okay? Go to the temples, churches, right? Try to become more peace, relax. Sometimes we go there more serious, we don't know what to do. If I do say something wrong, or do very skis. What is it? Skis. Therefore we need to just relax, just your little body, just. Okay? Anyway, basically, like this month, the Buddhism is the very holy month. All Buddhism, Mahayana, Theravada, different traditions, all different. They're all same because this month is we believe to Buddha's birthday and Buddha achieve enlightenment and Buddha we show the passing away. Therefore very special month. Then we believe to, if we do any positive activities this month, it become multiply. Therefore, we try to, you can see that all different traditions, Buddhism traditions, they do all different activities, ceremonies. Like we did last 2 weeks ago, interfaith. It is also the purpose is to remember Buddha's birthday. Like that. Then, as you know, Buddhism is yes, it is religion, we can say. Another way is also we can say like His Holiness Dalai Lama always like science. Usually the science, the MIT, or these guys study to physical things, right? Physical things. They couldn't see, or is not able to see the mental. Buddhism said that. See that it's not able to see that how big camera cannot catch the take pictures. Then science, the mind is the brain, right? The Buddhism doesn't believe that. The mind is different than the brain, but connection in the brain, it's very hard to say. Brain, maybe I have to say maybe 100 times. Like, in the brain, although so many nerves, right? Nerves. And we believe in the mind go through the nerves. If you block or you cut the nerves, then mind cannot go through. And if we believe that science take the picture, the nerves, they can see what kind of nerve can walk, what kind of nerve going that direction, how they look that. They can see the picture like that. We like think, like electric light, electricity. The wire, there's wire, right? Mm-hmm. In order to walk that electricity, then you go through the wire. If you cut the wire, they cannot go through. Then if you peel the wire, then also dangerous. Right? Anyway, there's a brain and the nerves in the brain, very important to the function of the different minds. Therefore, like that, therefore the minds, we cannot picture, we cannot take picture, we cannot see. We believe it's not able to see. Maybe 100,000 years after also science cannot see, take picture. They take picture the nerves, they can explain like that. Like that, there are so many, different questions, different arguments, about that, that anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever. The Buddhism is the more detailed describe of the mind. Right? If you study that. Like, we have like the Khensur is the 108 volumes composed Buddha Shakyamuni, we believe. As Buddha teaching, usually, basically, Buddha was born in India, or there was some debate also in Nepal, I don't know, whatever, that doesn't matter. He was born same as us. When he get married, he has a wife, he has a kid also. Then after he see, all the different kind sufferings, problems, then he decide, sometimes, like in the kingdom, that time, they taught to Buddha, Buddha, he's the Siddhartha, small boy. They taught to him to, stay that good place. They doesn't want to see the, all the beggars, edges, sickness, they don't want to show him. But one time he go around, he see all the different kind, sufferings people go through. Then he decide it's possible to get out from like that. It's possible to free from the things, problems. Then he decide to leave his palace. Then meditation 6 years at Buddha Gaya. Then he achieved enlightenment. Enlightenment is free from all the problems. Does he have any problem? No, I'm fine, right? Everyone's, I'm fine, but at the moment you have problem here. Anyway, with the suffering is what? Problem is what? Any kind happen or unexpected things. Unexpected? Yeah, unexpected. Undesirable. Okay? Can you desire here itching? No, right? Can you desire getting cold? No, right? Can you desire very hot weather? It's also not right. Do you desire? Do you desire? Do you desire? Do we desire? Right? We don't desire. Therefore, not. Do we desire getting sick? No. Do we desire? Okay, it's okay. It's okay, we don't have to say so many things. Anyway, like that things. Then, you're free from all the problems, free from all the undesired things. Is correct? Do you understand? Do you guys guess or you understand? Or just going to hear what he talking about? One is my English is very bad. Second is also the pronunciation is very bad. Therefore, like Buddha free from all the problems, all the sufferings. Then he understands all things, reality, we call them enlightened. After he became enlightenment, he gave the first teaching of Saranat in India, only 4 disciples. This we call fourth teaching. Like that, that this is the Tibetan fourth month. The 6th month on the 4th day is his giving teaching and the Saranat. Like that, Anyway, then what he teach for first time? He teach for 4 number truth. 4 number. How many people knows 4 number truth? Everyone knows, right? It's much easiest one. Easiest subject that, but this most complicated subject. 4 number truth is the basics of the Buddhism. It's also talking about the reality. It's not talking about something beyond the reality. Usually are you guys believe science? Yes, but everyone? Because they talk about reality. Buddhism also explains for the reality. It's nothing too beyond the reality. Therefore, our mind is very important. The Buddhism believe anything we have in our experience is also depends on our mind. Maybe Karen, maybe you can help for explain, but he doesn't speak English. Like that, Then, with the fourth teaching, he said, understand of the suffering. No. He said, this is the suffering. He said, this is the suffering. What? Undesirable things. Therefore, you have any undesirable things? Undesirable, how you say? Undesirable. Is correct? It's better? Undesirable. Who English teacher here? So your English teacher have something different, exercise your mouth. Therefore, do you have any undesirable things here? Yes? Like, you see it before like this, now you like that. This is undesirable. Then also he said, this is the cause of the undesirable. Then he said, this is then dunga pakaro. Then dunga papitambo, then kunjobedo, then lampabio. Then this is of the path or method of the free of the desirable. Right? path to free from the undesirable things. Then this is the result of the free from the suffering. Like they pour forth. Okay? Maybe my English is too bad. You don't understand. Understand? If you don't understand, you can just protest. It's okay. You say, well, I don't understand. What are you talking about? Then there is a thing and the Sanji Chomden Degia, and the Chungo Tambu, so the Demashir.
And so that's the first teaching Buddha ever gave, at the beginning, about the Four Noble Truths.
And that Demashir did and on the Nambe Shungita.
And so the teaching on the Four Noble Truths is like the basis of the Buddhism, on which all the Buddhism is based on. So there's two sets of cause and effect. So the one set of cause and effect for entering into the cycle existence, and one set of cause and effect for releasing from cycle existence. So right now we're in cycle existence. So we have entered into cycle existence. We are abiding in cycle existence. So do you accept that we are abiding in cycle existence now? And so right now we have this body, right? We call it aggregate, or contaminated aggregate, the body that consists of flesh, bone, blood, and so forth, right? So we cherish this body, and we care a lot about this body, right? And we do need to care this body, because in order to do the things we need this body, right? Especially to practice Dharma. So we do need this body. So therefore, of course, in Buddhism, it is encouraged to care about this body. But this body, the cause of the body, is not a good cause. The cause from where this body came from is not good. So if the cause is not good, then the result that comes from the cause cannot be good also. Right? So because our body, the cause of the body is not good, therefore this body that we have is not good. So as long as we have this body, we'll have to go through all the sufferings of birth, sickness, aging, death, and so forth. So this, in easy way to explain about the samsara or cycle existence that we're talking about, that we're abiding in, the cycle existence that we're abiding, this is the body that we're talking about. So actually it will be the circle, the cycle of this body, the continuation of this body. So this body, we get this body, we die, and then we are born again, we have this body. So this cycle is called cycle existence. And so as long as we have that body, the contaminated aggregate, as long as we have that, we will not be free from the suffering. So depending on what kind of karma that we created, we can have different kind of rebirths in the future. So if you're a boy now or man now, doesn't mean that you're going to be born as a man again. If you're a female now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be born as a female again. So depending on your karma, you can be born as a female, born as a female, or a male in your future lives. And so even though that's what we wish, like to be born as a female or as a male, but if we haven't created the karma or the cause for that, then we'll not be able to be born as we wish. Do you all know how to cook?
Are you a good cook? You have cookbooks here. Okay, this much water, this much salt, how long cook.
So you look at the instruction, right, in order to cook.
Okay, how many people, just I'm very curious, without looking cookbook, maybe you already did, but without looking cookbook, you can cook like 10 people food. You can just cook, there are 10 people, I can cook that. Right, yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, this is different tradition, like Tibetan tradition, we never have the cookbook. We just look at mom, how she cooking, just look at that, then we cook, follow that. Then we cook, okay, all the 10 people, why can we cook like that? Just exactly not 100%, but it's almost like that. We don't have the tradition to look at the cookbook. Anyway, the color the shimbo yondo mayo te the nanzo color shimbo so can dewa in the color shimbo yondo mayo te to susu sotana rali was.
So just anyway, that's example, right? So even though you have the wish, to create a very good dish, but whether the dish will come out as you wished or not depends on how you cook it and how you prepare the ingredients and so forth, right? So we don't have that wish will not bring us the good dish.
So 나도 못 참아라 남바 야보 midzibo nijo in 차선 녹여res.
So we all have a wish, to have a good body, good look, right? Handsome, beautiful looks, and all these things.
Yes. Everyone, right? Yeah, everyone just. We have the big mirror here, your bathroom. Right? Looking for your whole, how I look at big. 나도 내가 내가 되나야. 나도 싸마다 지금도 요거요 말했어.
So that's what we wish, but things doesn't turn out as we wish.
대한 곧 신바지랑 안 똑같이 원하면 도와서.
So so it doesn't just depends on our wish. There's something else that powers also.
그래. 근데 이제 땅 안주 네 대대배라고 그래. 근데 이제 땅 안주 남백에 셔다 쳐봐야나. 안처럼 동안 만들어봐다. 안 대원도 봐야나. 처럼 너가 주고 배우면 저런 대화가 저럽고 그래서 그래.
And so in Buddhism it says that if you wish to have a good result, then just by having wish you will not get the good result. You have to create a cause. You have to create a cause to have a good result.
그래. 근데 이마다 아니 나도 단다 폼보다 영화때 아니 저 근주 말이 봤어야 되게 온 거야 말이야. 근데 얘가 그 저거는 야보 매와인자 아니 저거도 야보요 말이야.
And so this body that we're talking about earlier, right, the aggregate, the contaminated aggregate that we have, the cause of that is what we call the true origin, or the delusions, the ignorance, the delusions, and so forth. And so because the cause is not good, therefore this body which came from that bad cause is also not good.
그래. 그래서 그 제야보면 와서 제야보면 제스다 너도 랭이 말이 봤어 된 거를 래 말이 발라게 말이 배운 거 아니 가서 다 샤와치를 내가 듣는 레버다 단단 가서 풍보도 연구요래.
So the main cause of this body, is the delusion, the ignorance. So out of ignorance, we have created some kind of cause, some kind of karma, and then the karma, the result of that karma is this body. So that's how we are born in cyclic existence. And so now that's the two sets, one set of cause and effect for entering into cyclic existence. And so now, what is the other set of cause and effect to be free from cyclic existence? And in order to be free from cyclic existence, you have to meditate on the path. And so that path has to be a path to overcome the delusion that creates the cyclic existence. So overcome that cause so that we can be free from the cyclic existence. And so what is the cause? It's the ignorance, right? So not knowing the reality, not knowing the truth of the reality. And so now you have to develop a path or the wisdom that knows the reality in order to counteract or overcome that delusion or ignorance that does not know the reality. And so if we develop that path and meditate on that, then we can overcome the delusions which causes us to enter into cyclic existence.
Okay, that's any Kovalan Jubek Genting, Kovala Dobe Genting, the Bashis to Sungere.
So that way we can achieve the freedom, which is the cessation, right? The true cessation. So the true cessation is the result of the true path. So that it's the two sets of cause and effect. One set, for entering into cyclic existence, and one set for freeing from cyclic existence. And so therefore, the Buddha Shakyamuni at the beginning said you should understand the suffering. What is suffering? You have to know that. You have to know the suffering first.
And
then once you understand the suffering, then you look for the cause of suffering. So once you have found the cause of the suffering, then you have to abandon it. So therefore, he said, first, understand the suffering, then secondly, and abandon the cause of suffering.
And then
he says, meditate on the path. So meditate on the path to overcome the true origin or the delusion. So meditate on that path. And then finally achieve the cessation. So by meditating on the path, then one will achieve the cessation, the true cessation. And so at the ordinary level, as we are now, the important thing is to have a good heart first. Are you a good-hearted person? Now you're all good, right? But if someone gives you a little bit of trouble, then you'll become bad person. So if someone has parked in front of our driveway, then we'll be agitated, right? We'll become angry.
Okay.
So at that time, if we are good, then we should be practicing patience at that time. Not getting angry. Of course, doesn't mean that you don't have to do anything. You shouldn't do anything. Of course, you can do, but without getting angry. You can talk to the person, whoever parked there, but without being agitated, without getting angry. Talk nicely. Then you're still a good person. When do we have to meditate on patience?
Meditation, patience, my room.
So if you're meditating on patience in your room when there's nothing bad going on, then you're not really meditating on patience. You don't have to practice patience at that time, right? There's nothing to make you patient.
Patience is
So when do you practice patience? It's at the time when somebody presses your button. At that time, then if you practice on patience, that's the best patience. So when do we get that button pressed? So because we all have different thoughts, right? Different ideas, different views. So just like so just the opinion, right? The idea or opinion, how the books should be placed on your table. Like, so which way? Or where should you put the cup and where should the saucer go? And so just put it anywhere you want, or should that be in a certain place? Do you all have different opinion? This is not good. This way is better. This is also good looking and so forth. Right? So we all have different opinions. So we all have different opinion, right? We don't have same way of thinking. So at that time we have strong opinion about our idea, right? We said, oh, this is how it should be. This is how it should be arranged.
Right? It's true? It's true or not? So?
So you put it in the way you want it, and somebody says, "Oh no, this is not, doesn't look good. So let's put this to like that, very different way from what you were thinking." Then you get angry immediately, right?
Yes, yes, no.
So at that time, we should not get angry, right? Because the moment we get angry, then we feel unhappy, right?
Yes, it's true.
So can you solve that problem, that issue, without getting angry with that person? Yeah. So how do we usually solve the problem? By getting angry or without getting angry?
Depends on who you're in.
No.
Depends on what?
Depends on what kind of mood you're in, really.
Mood, yeah.
The person.
Yeah.
Depends on.
So here, most of the people, they go to court, right? Court? Go to the court. Court. C-O-U-R-T.
Any big problems. No small ones.
So you go to the courts, and then the judge or lawyers, will decide which is and then they will solve the problem for you. But do they solve the problem by getting angry or by talking?
They're talking,
by
right?
discussing. Well, how do they solve the problem? By discussing,
Yeah.
right? Not by getting angry. So just like His Holiness always mentions that, whenever we face some problem, don't get angry. Talk, dialogue, have a dialogue, talk with each other, and we can solve the problem. So like the enemy, somebody who cause problem to us, harm us, that kind of person we consider as enemy, right? So, the only way to overcome the enemy is by overcoming our anger. Yeah? So, but otherwise, if you try to go out and kill each person, then you will never end the enemy. There'll be always more and more. Yeah? So if you kill that inner enemy, the anger, then there'll be no enemies outside. So if you want to be a good person, don't get angry. Because always anger will destroy us. So just by thinking, I'm not going to get angry, will it help you to not get angry? No, right? You have to think about the reason why I should not get angry. You should think about the reality, why that person did that. Think about the reality and think about the reason why you should not get angry. Because if you get angry, you feel unhappy and so forth. So if you think about that, then you can overcome that. So in Tibetan culture, when people fight with each other, they shout at each other. They fight with their mouth. You, most of you, just fight with the text messages, right?
Right?
Your text messages.
Right now we have also smartphones. You can just talk on the phone. You don't have to talk the personally. Just talk on the phone.
Is that like that? Honestly? Do you fight like that? With the messages? In this country, you don't see much people, like quarreling, like shouting at each other, right?
Yeah, 인바이나 가지 되기 전에 나도 투바작이라 와서 텐제자 되는 것도 투바 잡지 가지 전화도 나도 되기 전에 계제도 마시에 되지랑 나도 코로 마시다 걸 앞에 서서 나한테 말로 나 딱딱 인가도 영어도 왔으면 요와 제게도 왔어.
So in whatever way you fight, right, quarrel, either by yelling at each other or by texting at each other. So a moment after you send that, then you feel guilty, right? Oh, I should not have sent that text, or I should not have said that word like that, right? You feel guilty?
Really?
With me, if like, no, not always, sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. I'm not always 100%, you know.
If I think somebody really, I try to temper it, I try to word it well, but, they can read in between the lines that I'm not happy. So, I have this sense of, wow, I guess I
I did a good job.
But then, later I might say, well, maybe I could have been a little gentler.
Yeah, a little more gentle, you know. This happened, right? Then after we said, then also there's so many things to happen, then we say, oh, I should do that, it's not serious. Then you want to check that, then you want to check out of us.
So at that point, it's too late, right? We have already said what we wanted to say and sent the text to them already, so it's too late now.
Therefore, before we need to be very skillful. Buddha said, very important to skillful, any kind. Therefore, always we need to, I say, awareness. Awareness? What's awareness? Oh. 그때나 도나져야 돼. 도나져야 돼. 개주 모르겠어. 가리 인반. 수속 계제 가리시게요. 이게 다 딴 거요.
Be conscientious
Or be
about your
conscious.
action. So whatever you say or text, be conscientious about it.
I'm not saying you guys better, okay? You guys are doing that. I'm just talking about general. 뭐 던지기사 다 가리서나 아니 남주고 산지 좀 되는데 걔는 미심이 오는 걸 내가 지워야는데 얘는 내가 노주 지워야 팀도 누가 거를 소화로.
So anyway, the Buddha said that whatever action that we create out of ignorance or out of bad thought, the result of that would be bad.
오케이? 그래서 간서 남주 그 미기 만통하기 아니 렌데세 아니 젠데세 빼 휴침보 니바침보지 그래.
And so this cause and effect, so the cause and effect which is not visible to our eyes, it's very powerful behind there, doing all the work, for us to go through all these problems.
남주 잡아야 왕사 침보 쉬우지 가서 가파고 수공이 요래로.
Something very powerful behind us, which makes us to do this and that, go this, go that, go that this way or go that way, is the karma, karma and delusion.
그냥 고대오래 다 다른 가서 다시 민주실 나오신다. 내가 민주하고 지금도 왔어.
So we all have a different karma, right? Each one of us create a different karma, so we have different results that we experience. Like for example, in this room, that 20 over of us here, and none of us look alike exactly the same, right?
그래. 나도 속단다고 말해, 삼선다고 말해, 나도 시간다고 말했어.
Our look is not same, right? They're not similar. Our thought is not. Our behavior are not same.
팀에서 배나 파마치기 바지. 뭐 테마티 와이나. 제시 제네 제치방 파지 용무시 바는 거래.
And so even if it is identical between, and for them to be exactly the same in action, in thought, and all this behavior, is not possible. To be exactly the same, 100% same, it's not possible.
지진은 속도 지바에 나야 삼선다고 말해, 르판다고 말해, 아니 샤와 제단다고 말해, 람로시준다고 말해.
So even if they have like identical looks, but they maybe might not have the same behavior, same thought, same way of dealing with the people and so forth.
그래. 파마니 코일라 따다지다 지바 지면 지려야 질도신 돼요 말해.
The parents from their side, they treat them equally, same, right? Doesn't look one better or another, but they even like try to dress them exactly the same.
그래. 다들 가르쳐내나 간 지바마한테 가르쳐놨어.
So why are they not exactly the same? Even though they're identical twins, but they're not exactly the same. Why is that?
Yes.
I think most people's probably point would be that it's like their environment. They are in perhaps like different scenarios, different environments, and that shapes them differently.
그리고
The koyuk.
고유.
Koyuk 여보다 뒤에 있는 애들이 쏟다 믿음으로 차려 버렸어.
드레드 맨날 가서 드레지 소나 맨날 내려 깝도라지 소나 치주 치바 쏟다 치바 아니 자도 쏟다고도 뭐 먼저 미가.
Yeah, so that contributes also, right? So, like for example, this cup, when you let's say produce a cup, and like you produce like thousands of these cups, right? Then they can be all exactly the same, right? Same size, same color, right? It can be exactly the same.
We are mixing some copy like that, right?
You mix the ingredients exactly the same. How much this, how much of that? Exactly, you mix everything exactly the same, and then you produce in exact same way, and it comes out exact same.
대단 난도 컨트롤 제도거든. 컨트롤
So
제도고.
that we have a control over it, right?
근데 다음 대간도 통화해 왔지. 답 대만 방은 난 간도 지금 심진 다 심지 버주 심진 간도 심지 차상식이다. 심지 우리 이제서 간가 집받치게 시작했어. 마용한테 간도서나 랜드에서 잡고다 쇼치 뭐 되레스.
So now if the identical twins were to have exact same again like that, then they will come out exactly the same. But we all have different thoughts and different actions we could engage in, and so the result that we have is also very different.
제가 드릴 랜드 강을 가지는 영어를 쓰려 봐야 서로.
Why do we have a different actions? I mean like creating action. Why do we create different kind of actions in each of us?
가능 나도 삼삼도 집어 말했어.
So that's because we all have a different thought. So what kind of action we create depends on our thought. Because our thought is different, therefore our actions are different also.
전도 믹스에 정도 했어.
Does that make sense?
그리고 나도 저도 삼도 집어래 왜?
Do we all have same thought?
Right? 빼나. 근데 이제 가서 무반만 잡았음. 그리고 잡선 나빠셔 봐야지. 어다 책임지 그래. 그리고 어떤 간단한 가서 삼촌 자가 말해 가서 재단 자가 말해 가서 그리고 나wan 자가 말해 장선 자가 만나서 소소 만나봐 때니 내가 만나봐지 내가 만나봐 저래더니 내 만나봐 내 만나봐 때는 내가 만나봐도 용고요 그래.
So we all have different like thoughts, different views, right? And different behavior or different actions. So different thought, because of that, then we create different actions. And then because of that, we all have a different results.
Right? Do you think it's true? How many people like very, very hot water? Hot tea or hot water, anything is very hot temperature. Okay, who loves to all the time cold water, cold iced coffee, iced tea, even you eat also put cold. Huh? Different, right? There's so many. Who loves to Indian food? Very hot, spicy. I think Indian Chinese food very spicy, right? Who loves for like Thai food? Thai food a little bit, sweet, right? A little sweet. Who likes Spanish food? I like Spanish food. Anyway, we have different people like different food, different kind of things, right? Therefore, we have different view, different thoughts, different actions. If we do different activity, it's created for different karma. Therefore, it's produced with different results. If you the, same cause, same action, it becomes same result. But we are not like that. Okay? Then lady call some tawayana, and then Ganzu go pen the Sicilia Paji, Pacharan do love something. So Chetalam Javatang, some tawayana, not to call Sagamari.
And so if we are able to think in that way about the cause and effect, and then we'll come to understand that, that person is not really to be blamed. And so this also depends on my cause and effect, depends on other person's cause. So it all depends on that. It's just not really that person is completely 100% to be blamed. So if we think like that, then we'll be able to control our anger. We'll not get angry immediately when something goes wrong with us.
Okay? The main thing is, I'm not saying you guys are an angry person, okay? But try to not angry in the future. Also, if you're angry, also don't keep here. If someone makes you angry, don't keep here. That time you just angry, you can just fight whatever you want to say. At the moment, you become just friend. Can you do that? It's okay. Sometimes it's good to you. What do you think here? Keep things go out, then you become just relaxed. Okay, I'm done. I did a good job. A lot of people also keep here. It's very bad desire, very bad disease. It kills you, okay? Don't keep things here. Just say things just okay. Like example, the parents complain the kids, don't do that, the parents become like almost a job. At the moment, they finish. They don't think, they don't keep the mind. Like that, we need to like that.
So it's important, to not keep it, in your mind. Let it go and then let it go completely.
Okay, yes.
So you speak about that at that moment, and you discuss cleaning your karma at that time.
Okay.
You need to do something positive with it as opposed to staying
담아서로.
stuck on it.
근데 이제 다만 저 샴바고만 인제고마 샹치고 셈고마 밀라 삼바 삼보체와 공조마사나 아니 리드고도 바사로 메와자로 그랬어.
And so at that point, meditating on loving kindness, compassion, caring about others' welfare, and so forth. So if you can think about that, then that will, also clean the negative karma that you have created through getting angry.
아니 샴바도 니제 샹치고 셈셈 공부하는 다 메르비디 받아 다로 그랬어.
And so if we are able to, generate the loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, that will purify almost all the negative karma.
디 갈라 똥바니 공부하다 데려라 그랬어.
And then on top of that, if you can meditate on the emptiness, the correct view of emptiness, then that will also purify the cause of the suffering.
그래서 나도 몸부시 대하 고게 되는 것도 제도고 말다.
So intellectually, we all know that, right? But practically, we're not able to generate those thoughts in our mind.
근데 나도 다른 디카든들 하대 그랬어.
That's why we're still here.
그래서
To understand emptiness at that moment sometimes doesn't help you to process the rise of the emotion.
Correct.
You can think about emptiness and know about it and read it and understand it on paper.
That's right.
But in order to apply it to
The
my
Gomtya
actions
Buddhist.
at that moment in my mind, the seed that's coming out of my mind
Oh,
at that
right.
time,
Mm.
to be angry, to help clean it or dissolve it,
Mhm.
change it. You say to start thinking about a meditation at that time to just clean it. Is that what you're saying?
So you mean like at the time when you get angry?
Yeah.
그런 생각 없어서 그러다. 그다음에 쉐도 쉬고 왔다나 결론은 저 쉐도 쉬고 왔다 이나 냠려 맞아 손도 이거 뭐 소라. 안 think 없어 되네. 다 동분이 공고를 왜서 그러다 뭐 그러다.
되게 야 고로 세우가 또 많이 공부 또이 고로 사자 유도한테 또 많이 공부 그랬어. 대고는 다때 야쇼들했어.
다 됐어서 다 고발을 하래 그러.
공부하는데 다 등만 야고 고민을 내려고 공도 그러.
So yeah, of course, if you can meditate on that at that time, that will be the best. That will solve all the problems. But most of us, we don't have that habituation, of meditating on emptiness, and so immediately to come at that time to be able to meditate is very difficult. But if you have already done meditation in period of time and are used to that, then it's easier. So if you are able to meditate on at that time and meditate on emptiness at that time, then definitely that will solve the problem.
오케이?
What would you suggest, like a short emptiness meditation at that time?
근데 지난번에 답배샤셔나 저런 미치라 고로사이나 밑에 저런 게 싸만 나지 고래요 말해서 그쌈 세년 지나 지고 말해서 고라야 무심만 먹은 그래서
지금 동문이 가지고 뭐.
되게 다
동문이 렐러버지고 뭐.
다 내려가지고 까지 내가 딱 그지 나랑 봐 싸마라 맞도 오늘 싸만이 저거 말해서 그래서
So at that point, and if you can think, oh, this person just, it appears as harming to me, but it's not really like that. So if it says the things doesn't exist the way it appears to me, it's mostly projected by my own mind. If you can think like that, then that will help.
example you get met John you say John I get met John right 대다 나 가와 John 가와도 John 공고래 깜바를 락바를 수보다 나 John 얘기 말 봤잖아.
So then also you think of like John, that person that you get angry at, someone called John that you are angry at. And then you think about the John. And so where's John now? Which is one John? Is it his head? Is it his chest? Is it his arm? Is it his legs? Which one is John? So if you look for John, you will not find John.
나도 John 그 소다데 수보다 되는 코레스 라고.
There's two Johns that you're looking at the same time, right?
John이 따거려서.
아.
니가 따거려서 John이라.
말 John 치 세워 John 치도 세워 잖아.
No, one John. So it's look for one John.
코로사가 John 됐다고 그랬어.
So the John that you're angry at.
예.
Right.
Look for the John that you're angry at.
And the one that doesn't exist, right? The emptiness of John.
나 지금 매번 들어왔어.
아. 말 John 많이 왔잖아. John 얘기 말했어. 저는 봤을 때 얘기 말했어.
So no, this is not emptiness. It's like look for the John that you're angry at. Then if you can find the John that you can get angry at, then you will be angry. But if you can't find it, who will you be angry at?
정 수고도 장 레버트 저랑 말하려고 그러고.
You will not find John if you look for John like that. So which one is John? If you try to look for John, is John's body a John
The John that's angry,
that you are angry at?
that's coming from you, or the one that's coming from?
That coming from you.
Yeah.
So when you're angry at John, you see John, right? You think of a John, and then you get angry at him. And now at that time, look for John. Which one is John? Is his body John?
그 수고 그 그러나
From who I see, like I'm perceiving him. He's
Yes.
from me.
Yeah.
오케이.
Yeah.
특별한 게 따져기로 와.
So you projected it, right? John.
Exactly.
So which one is that?
The one that's coming from me.
Yeah, but which one is that? But someone there, right?
Yeah.
Someone there.
근데
소속이 따져도 그거는 사기 말아.
메타 소속까지
샤야 돼,
사바지 소속이 휴치하지 샤르치 소속이 다 대어 휴치부터 샤르치 엔탈데 콘사기로 와.
So yeah, so you get angry at the John you're projecting, right? So what kind of John are you projecting?
Angry.
Yeah, but what kind of John? John that is like existing from his own side. That's what you're projecting, right? So through that John you're getting angry. But does that John exist?
오케이. 되는지 상도는 야보.
So that if you can think it like that, maybe that can help. Yeah.
Okay? Like that, okay, now we go to the text, otherwise, no, it's okay. It's good, yeah. Yes.
I was just wondering if this is really a proper use of fear, but, talking about sending the emails, one thing I always remember is that once it's out there, I can't take it back, and it has my name on it. So it's like, to me, that's kind of the healthy way to keep what I'm feeling in check. And is that, like a wise use of fear or not? I know there's ego involved there, because I don't want to be seen as someone who says something outrageous, even if it is true. So.
Kasro.
So what's your question?
So my question is that use of fear healthy? By saying to yourself,
다들 지금 신학기에 저러다 내 제보다 믿어도 통그래 미 지금 미 가서 써도 명이 걸어다. 진짜는 진짜 걸어다 걸어. 그래서 마침 봤어요 말아. 맞아서 저 진짜다 가서 되게 되게 신학지 걸어다 어디 신학지 걸어다.
I guess wise is what
That is-
is
that
that
is-
wise use of fear?
되게 신학지 딱 가서 답변을 해서 걸어다.
시나 배워서 거다. 시나 되는 간도 팀 배나 미션 받고 그냥 누가 만도 배가 많아 봤어.
네.
그러다. 뭐 저거다 가로다.
So that's you mean like that fear,
Where they come from?
thinking why I should not have sent that, or what happens if people see that, what will they think about me, all this, that kind of fear, right?
Yeah, yes, but most of all, it's the fear that I will do something that I regret later. So it stops me.
Oh yeah.
No.
네, 나 소속이 당연히 지으면서 지금 지난주 기회죠라. 다 되게 다 맞아 따라다니는 사람 되게 다 제마 맞아 팽기다 했어.
어떻게 팽이를 돼 봐.
Yes, that can help you to stop doing the same thing from in the future. Yes.
But, I was just noticing, there's still the ego piece, that I don't want to be seen as one way.
그래, 다들 소소 지금 나진 좀 지어라다. 나라 믿어도 맘에 지그래 나 지금 해야죠. 나 샤브리슈 그래 해야죠. 삼을 거 디디다는 지금 나지 지어라.
다티 두셔들 봐.
나라서 디 삼을 때는 그냥 좀 제가 맞아야 돼. 지금 팬도 팬거 어디 나다 나세 지어라. 이제 디디 다 탑혀 버려 봤어.
쇼치니다 시나도 그딴 기보다 개마다 건지 다 탑시지랬어. 같이.
Yeah, so I mean, that can be a means, Of course, that's involved, right? So, I don't want to look bad, so therefore I should not do that, So, of course, there's grasping at eye at that point, but because of that, then you will not do in the future. If there's no grasping at eye, so then who will you care about? Then you will not care about that. You might do it again, So yeah, I mean, in some way it is good, but of course that grasping is still not good. So it's a way to stop you from doing in the future. But not the best way, maybe. But for now, I mean, not the best way ultimately. But for now, maybe it's good, So it's a method for now to stop you doing that from in the future.
Okay. Second chapter. Go to the verse 19. Okay, then the Kashi, Tango Shanshu Simsa de Pimbizu with Tachimbo, Shanshu Simsu Gila Jevala, Sim Samaso Gores.
And so here it is talking about the generating bodhicitta in one's mind, right? So the bodhicitta is a very precious, a very sacred mind, and it can't be generated easily. And in order to generate that in your mind, you have to first cleanse your mind.
Okay, Manzuben Nana Kundu Yuguna, Kundu Shuchumajuna, Manzu Chiti, not Samaso Yorwa.
So it's just like, when we have a special, important guest coming to our house, we'll clean up the whole place, right?
So and
then we lay out, a red carpet, right? So like that, in order to generate bodhicitta in our mind, we have to cleanse our mind first. So right now our mind is not clean, it's very dirty. So because it's polluted, by all these negative emotions like attachment, anger, ignorance, jealousy, and so forth. Right? So it's filled with all these garbages. And so that can't be just vacuumed, with the machine, right? You can't have a vacuum cleaner and then, vacuum all those dirts, all those pollution from your mind. So in order to do that, you have to, engage in the practice of accumulating merit and purifying negativities. So like that, we also have very strong miserliness in our mind. Do you all have miserliness? So we all have that miserliness, right? So always thinking that, this is not enough. It might not be enough. It might not be enough. Even though we have so much, we still think it's not enough. Right? And so if we practice this making offering, and also of course this creates merit, then also on the other hand, minimizes or reduces our miserliness. So right now we do through the imagination, right? We imagine making offerings, so mentally offer like that. Of course, if we, it's all our mind. Our mind is the one that makes us to do the things, right? So if we have trained our mind enough to give, then we'll actually give. So right now we just mentally give, but in the future we may be actually able to give. And so this is the a Buddhist way of doing the practice, of cleansing your mind and accumulating merit and so forth. So in order to accumulate merit, you imagine all these offerings, the offerings and the flowers, the garlands, and also even like offering bath, where you visualize the bathing chamber, and imagine the whole chamber, the place where you offer the bath. It's very beautiful, made of the most precious stones and so forth, right? And so in the West, not so much, but in the East, we have this tradition of making offerings, of flower garlands, like flower garland over the neck, around the neck, and making offerings, the food, the place, and money, and all these things, to the holy beings, like the monks and sanghas and so forth, right? And then there's of course that kind of looks like the kind of discrimination, right? So you offer so much, nice food, nice flowers, and all this, to the sanghas, to the monks and nuns, but then you leave out the beggars. So there's the beggars there. You don't give any food to them, and you only make offerings to the monks and nuns like that.
데려서 다 드리게 자와도 주도지라 하는 돈바야 보여와서 돈바도 요와이나 델피나 아니 손을 올라붙여 싸워 요와이 말이야.
And of course, it also depends on individual's karma, right? Who receive the offerings and who don't receive anything. It depends on that also. But anyway, but from the side of the person who makes the offering, it is more meritorious, to make offerings, to the sanghas, not because they're monk, that's because of their vows, the vows that they're holding and they're observing, that because of that. And if you make offerings to the sangha, like monks and nuns, then that's more meritorious.
어디 다들이 들리면서 다 들리면 아니 다 진도빠지 통원유줄 변다 배와다 야나다 웬남다 다른 사마르다 소야 그조들의 디제들 그조들의 거라야 둑해야래 둑 그러와 다 죽어도 송도 왔어.
And then also there's the offerings of the umbrella, so you when there's like very scorching, like sun, burning sun, and you offer a shed, somebody, then they feel good, right? So that's also a feeling of comfort, And there's a tradition of offering umbrella. So you might have witnessed that in many traditions, like in Cambodia, Thai, China, also Tibetans, they offer an umbrella, a parasol, to the monks and nuns.
어다 든지게 아니 두트 간이 고스나 다 쇼로가 죽게도 송도 와.
And then here, so they're talking about like very special parasol, or umbrella, in other words. Is decorated with all these jewels and scarves and so forth. That's what it's explaining here in verse 19.
Can you read the 19?
So I bring to mind the great sages, exquisitely beautiful jeweled parasols, perfectly raised with the golden handles, lovely shapes and inlaid pearls.
Okay. 다 든지게 두대 가르나 다 간지 림보치게 두임바 아니 세기 요와지 임바 아니 데 티꼬라서 다 세딩게 젠야와 대양 아니 And so
it says, it's very clear, right? That's to bring to the mind the great sages, exquisitely beautiful, jeweled parasols, perfectly raised. Raised means like opened, and like not the closed umbrella, but like opened, and with the golden handles, the handle made of the gold, and lovely shapes, nice shapes, right? And laid in pearls, like pearls, decorating with the pearls around the edge, of the umbrella.
Okay.
So if you offer like that, so they're here, just doing mentally, right? So even then, if you offer like that, and it becomes an antidote, to your delusion, miserliness. And then in the verse 20, it's talking about other offerings other than that you can offer. Let's read that. Thereafter, may delightful clouds of offerings rise high, and clouds of instrumental music that enraptures all sentient beings.
Okay? That Temaimeda and the Telejimbi Chubi Tok, Romu Dian Yimbi Hus, that Romu Datan and the Datan, that Dian Chubatanda, Mother Piayore. They are only Nimbo Yambatri Chok, and the Simchi Duma Sevashibiga. And the Juntawa, and the Mambo Patronea, or the Legene.
So then it says, may delightful clouds of offerings rise high, and clouds of instrumental music, and that enrapture all sentient beings. So that's talking about the delightful clouds of offerings. It's like plenty, the whole space filled, with the offerings. So offerings and the instrumentals. So these are the other offerings other than what we offered earlier.
대양 안에 심지어 다 심지가 누가 안에 세야기 등이 세야기 체득되니 들어와인 받지 대양 들어와 대양 직다 찌르니 많이 받지 아니 심지어 수수중들하고 수수 강 대만나지 했더니 봐 들어내니 보고 왔더니 봐.
And there says instrumental music that enraptures all sentient beings, so that bring peace in their mind, right? So by listening, by hearing the music, people feel very calm and delight. So like that. So imagine this music that you offer. Brings peace and delightfulness in all sentient beings, not only like in group but individually. So each sentient being receives or hears the music that pleases them most. So So in order to like eliminate the sufferings of the sentient beings, then you offer these offerings, of music and so forth, in the presence, of the Buddhas.
Okay?
So this kind of tradition is very, very strong in like India, places like in India and so forth. So in Tibetan Buddhism also we have these offerings, of the like bell, the damaru, the digital drums, and cymbals, and so forth. So the drums, big drums like that. So, and all these are offerings, of music. And so then other than the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you can also offer to other holy objects. So let's read the verse 21. May showers of flowers, jewels, and the like continually fall on the images, the reliquaries, and all the jewels of the sublime Dharma. And so the sublime Dharma, so the jewel of the sublime Dharma is referring to the Dharma or the teachings, in the instructions or teachings that consist of all these 12 the limbs of the eloquent speech or teachings. And then the reliquaries is the relics, right? So the stupas, especially the stupas that consist of Buddha's relics, and so those are the holy objects. And the images, like the statues and the pictures and portraits of the Buddhas and so forth. So to all these holy objects, you imagine offering showers of flowers and jewels and so forth. So here in the temples, you see people offering a lot of flowers, right? The flowers all over. And then we have the water offering, in the bowls, you see the water bowls offerings. And then there also you can mix, like saffrons in the water bowls. So it's the water offering, of course you do on the altar is not drink, not drank by the Buddhas. The Buddhas will not drink it, but you create a merit if you offer. And so may I be able to offer. So you like making prayers, right? To be able to offer like that. And then in the verse 22 talks about the supramundane offerings. So inconceivable offerings. Anyway, so this is like the offerings of concentration. Let's read that. Just as Manju Gosha and others worship the jinas, so do I worship the Tathagata, the protectors with their children. So this is saying like just as the Manjushri and like Bodhisattva Samanthabhadra and other Buddhas and other Bodhisattvas who offer to the Buddhas, like by imagining the clouds of offerings, just like that I will offer in the same way to all the Buddhas. So they offer through concentration, through their meditation or concentration. And so they can make the actual offerings. So So, but we cannot offer in that way, like that offering of concentration in the same way as they do.
이나 다 간주고 배는 말아서가 아니 다 루루 잠수시빈 돈을 가려서나 아니 담준 선바다 아니 로바다 아니 곰잡아서 참아가서니 조야 알라나메 비초만 로그레스 아니 산지 좀 된데 그 아니 루jan소를 돈을 송요 왜 말해.
And there's when one of the sutra, Buddha mentioned that from our side, if we can just hold the sutras like the scriptures, books, and then read them or place them on our head, and then that becomes an offering also.
데데다 만주 쳐라서 데블로요와 데오 삼바나마 답에 야고지 끌로나마 답에 걸로와이나 아니 라나메 비초만 로고요 와서는 뭐 곰자와도 로고요 와서 샤지고 섬고바도 로고요 와서래.
So if you like you read the scriptures, right? You have the Dharma books that you hold on your book and hold it in your hand, and then you read it. So then also, so doing that also becomes a sublime offerings. So if you do that, that also becomes sublime offering.
근데 쇼치는 내려오셔도 초밥에서 로 먹고 깔리자 먹고 수수강 냠내하고 치는 된 초밥 로고요 그래.
So in one hand, it's very easy to do the practice of offering, right? You don't have to actually go and make offerings. Just sit down and read your book. That becomes also sublime offering.
알아. 대학 기심도 되면거네. 아니 검죠 알고지 거기도 와.
So that, of course, you have to do out of with respect, right? Hold the book and sit properly and read it, not like lying down or placing foods on the book and things like that. So not with disrespect.
아니 남중에도 남백이 쇼시나 아니 지난 거 빼나. 달로종 때단데 좀 나중에 됐어. 아니 뭐 플로가 샤야 말들라고 그래.
And so, of course, we're always encouraged, to advised and encouraged, to respect the Dharma materials, Dharma books. So Dharma books, you cannot just leave them on the floor or step on them or walk over them.
너무 저도 로야도 건담 많이 가도 로로 되니 거기서 떡스미 follow 패셔가 되는 팽이 왔어.
So usually people like go to read book when they go to sleep, right? And then soon after you're done with reading, then you put the book on the floor. Do you do that with Dharma books?
근데 가서 남배 주시나 대니 그 말했어. 대체나 안에 소소 줄라 막히반다고 그랬어.
So Dharma books you should not do that. Even any other books you should not do that because you should respect the knowledge, the words. Any book, but especially Dharma books, you should not do that. If you do that, then that becomes disrespectful to the Dharma.
그래서 지난 그 Dharma respect Dharma 코너를 지어게요 말했나. 소소고 소는 무슨 냠도고 살라고 그랬어.
So disrespecting Dharma doesn't cause any harm to Dharma. It causes harm to ourselves. So we decrease our merit if we do that.
근데 멤버가 맨 때치 맨 맞는 술 줘라 그래.
If the doctor gives a medicine to cure your disease and you don't eat, who loses? The doctor? Or medicine?
좋은 소소라 그래 왔어.
Oneself, right?
그래서 근데 다들 저는 내 마사 내 제세 랍자하고 저는 수술 랍자 많이 많이나 술 줘라 그래.
And also same with the advice from the doctor. Doctor gives you advice or instruction to do this, to not to do that, and take this and not to take that and so forth. If you don't listen or carry on the advice, then who loses?
나도 줘라 그래 와.
On ourselves, right?
어떻게 다 내셔도 내 가도 남들이야 다 개두고만 좀 신조만 왔땡에데 다 담배 주더래스. 담배 주 제자생 배제도 차대고 그래서 될 기억고 그래.
So Dharma is the one that explains us, explain to us what is to be adopted and what is to be abandoned. So by adopting what's good and by abandoning what's bad, we can have good and be free from bad. So therefore, and since these books, Dharma books, contain that information from the Dharma, therefore we should respect the Dharma books.
뭐 그래서 다 안에 지진 잠배야도 안에 저저서 막 끊어서 보다 된지는 초반 때가 나지 다 나랑게 양 아다글리 아니 나 요섬 사비 기회 자와당 간리 바타마 데다 상제도 저저선 발라야 초비 아니 제파 주리야 저기 섬 저거 그랬어.
And so just like the Manjushri and some of the Bodhara and other Bodhisattvas offer, the Buddhas and Tathagatas or Jinas, like that, or whatever kind of merit that I have created through my body, through my speech, through my mind, I would imagine that, transform that in the form of offerings, and then imagine offering that.
근데 된지가 파트니 아니 소바나 아니 라나메 벤초가 로에 바데 아니 괜찮 딸이 도세야 된다 송이 와서와.
So then, so that is also mentioned in the sutra. So sutras are the teachings given directly by Buddha himself. And so those is mentioned in the sutra. Yeah, that 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 becomes very meritorious offerings if you do that.
Okay? 아니 대파 준이 안 주비 대파 준이 become 거 너도 지나 너도 피해요 말해 남주.
And so you transform that, transform that in the aspect, in the shape of offering, and then imagine offering that.
Okay? 근데 근데 제안했다 소소고 소는 거 속사봐. 아니 소소고 녀모가 생내가 녀보도 빼면서 딱 소는 거 솔랍 쳐보서 소는 소 쳐보잖아. 인간도 소는 때문에 미 삼바다면 접상도 쟁에 받지마고 자그래.
So if we offer in that way, then we create a very huge amount of merit. So if we have good amount of merit, then all our wishes will come true. The reason why we are not able to get what we want is because of not having enough merit. So if we have plenty of merit, then all our wishes will come true.
삼성원들이 춘이 되고 갈라가 이용도 하세요. 시용도 해줘.
And sometimes when you're listening to the Dharma, you get bored and then you fall asleep. Does it happen to you?
대 영어에서 쇼싱에서 나 코드 취하고 시험도 그 용도 쇼를 책을해서.
So sometimes we might blame to the teacher. Oh, he's so boring. He doesn't teach well.
이제 때문에 저는 아니 봐줘 있지 말이야. 소소 레드가 보는 그 만나면 그래.
So, but actually, it's not the teacher's fault. It's our own. So what causes us to fall asleep and be lazy? Is because of our own delusions. Obscurations. You don't fall asleep when you go to dance, right? At the parties. So your whole body is blazed with attachment at that time. So there's no chance for you to fall asleep. So when the attachment and anger and ignorance are very strong, blazing in our mind, then at that time we cannot fall asleep. When you're very, very angry, can you fall asleep in the night? So you turn here and toss there, and then you finally go and grab that sleeping pill and then go to sleep, right? Then you go to the doctor and ask for the prescription, right, for the sleeping pills. That's the worst case. So we should try to change through our thinking. So it's like luring your child by giving them a candy or placing a smartphone on their hand so they can play with and they will not cry or so forth. So that's from the parent side. So instead of parent doing that, if the child can think from his own side and not complain, then it will be better, right? So unless you have some kind of disease in the body that prevents you from sleeping, then that, of course, in that case, no choice but to take the medicine. But otherwise, it's very important to make sure that we don't need to take the sleeping pills. So we should try to calm our mind by not allowing these negative emotions to rise in our mind, not having strong attachment or not. Then we can say. Otherwise, if you keep thinking about these delusions, like angry, so this person said this person did that, and they did it again, and like this. If you keep thinking like that, your anger is rising. You are giving rise to anger towards that person, and then you will not be able to fall asleep.
Okay? And the regular gomjap, something
So at that time, you have to meditate. You have to change the thought. You have to practice, meditate, to change your thoughts. So sometimes you can deceive or lure your mind by changing the object. So you are angry towards that person. You keep getting angry towards that, then try to change, thinking about something else. Change to some different object. Like you are thinking about this book, and now you change to the cup. You're no longer thinking about the book. You're thinking about cup, like that. You can change from that thought to different things.
나도 저는 로 찌마다 로니냐도 디시치리 째도 말해.
So because the mind, can only manifest. Only one mind can manifest at a time. There's no way two mind can manifest at the same time.
나도 선당 이제는 딱 마음도 상고요 그랬어.
Of course, we have all these different kind of minds, but only one can manifest at a time.
그거. 나도 상방이다 엄마가 안 좋고 근데 뭐 동도 섭다가가도 챙겨래.
So sometimes we may even think like, oh, I can hear, I can listen. I can listen and I can see at the same time.
그리고 이제 대문에 따때 빼파 끼집가로 뒤에 동동이 됐어. 문에로 가서 소소소 이렇게
So in
동동.
general, like when you stretch the time in long, then you can think like that. But when you really come down, at one point, only one mind can manifest.
Okay. Any questions? Yes.
Talking about offering, and I have an altar at home, and I meditate and read in front of it, and water and whatever flowers. But I have to share this, maybe you can give me feedback on what could have happened, but my mind was getting angry about a farmer, and it doesn't connect, but it will. A farmer that was not letting his cows out for 8 months. And I called the ASPCA, and he said a lot of people have complained about him, that they're gonna go to slaughter and be in a barn their whole life. And my mind was trying to figure out, I'm gonna get a megaphone, I'm gonna stand in front of his farm, I'm gonna, and I have a water buffalo on my piano at home. And I was so I don't know what to do about these poor animals that are being slaughtered. I put the water buffalo on my Buddha altar in front of my Buddha, and I said, Buddha, please help me. I'm going crazy about these poor cows. And I let the cows stay there, water buffalo, for a week. And I prayed and I did my practice in the morning and at night, offer up my actions. That week, the cows were let out of the barn. I swear they were. And I was just like, oh my God, thank you. Now, is this crazy? Is it crazy? That maybe the Buddha intervened for this farmer to be nice?
So what do you mean by water buffalo on the
I have
piano?
a water buffalo statue.
Oh, a statue.
Oh, right.
No, not a real water buffalo. A water buffalo statue. And my mind was so upset about this suffering of these cows that I put the water buffalo in front of the Buddha on my altar, did my practice, and the cows were let out. Anyway,
Yeah, it is good enough. Maybe it's possible you did pray, but in order to also come out there, also they need to so many different conditions. Then he or she will be bring out there for cows.
Well, I don't think I'm that great that I put.
But I think you do some maybe actions there. You call them, then push the button. Then they're not comfortable. Then they will let them out, like that.
So you contributed some kind of condition. There are many conditions needed, for that to happen, and you have contributed some. So yeah, definitely you might have helped, but it's not because only you prayed, So that's what Geshe was saying.
It's good enough.
Many conditions together, make it happen.
Like that time, you cannot angry with them. Try to do the action, but also more compassion for them.
Out of compassion for them.
그도 대도 언제 답보이 바나리 샘체는 뜻 먹어봐 던지기 깨워 말려봐 속세.
So not out of anger towards that farmer for locking all those cows in the barn, for so long time. Not because out of anger, but out of compassion. Oh, if he does that, he will create negative karma and he will be born in the lower realm. So poor guy, thinking out of compassion for the farmer, and of course you already have a compassion for the cows. So out of compassion for both cow and the farmer. So both the person the victim and the person who is inflicting the harm. So have compassion. So out of that, then when you call and do this, do apply any method to solve the problem, then that's good. Not without getting angry, even to the farmer also.
먼저 미세한테 빼 가고 제일 매워도 미세 제일 매워. 근데 미카신도 냐성가도 세선 팔려. 나서는 팔려. 그 순간 가짜 좀 냐면서 살아왔어. 때문에
So people, they have so many different things that they want to do. They have so much desires, to do different things. Thinking that if I do this, then maybe this will bring me happiness. Maybe if I do that. Like some people, I think the most foolish thing is fishing. You know, people say, I'm going out, oh, I had a so good time, I'm going out, you know, I went out to fish. And what do they do? Like, they catch the fish, and then they just, you know, hook it, right? You know, they catch the fish with a hook, and then after that, they catch it, and then they take off the hook, and then they release. So what's the use of doing that, right? They think it's the fun, but it's causing pain to the fish. You know? So what happens if somebody were to like put a hook on their mouth, you know, and then hang them by a hook like that? You know, so that kind of things, you know. So people do all these different like crazy things, in order to, in the name of enjoyment.
다 모두 제가 다 수소인마다 마음받는데 맞춰와서 심지 제마다는데 맞춰와서 때문에 먼저 때문에 들으려도 말해와서 그런다고 그래서.
So even at that times, you know, like not getting angry. I was, oh, poor guy doesn't know, and out of ignorance he's doing that. You know, may we not, you know, may we not, you know, go through that. May any sentient beings not go through such kind of suffering like the fish is going through, or may any kind of sentient beings not create that kind of karma that like fisherman is creating, and so forth. You know, always think, pray for them, out of compassion.
야, 남자만은 데리고 사람들은 오늘 가도 친데 다 제다 명으로 용도 미가 심진에서 빼스면 되게도 와서.
So, you know, like how we human beings, you know, exploit the sentient animals, and how we use them, you know, like for sports and, you know, for food and all these things, you know, and how we do that's like, you know, can make our minds go crazy when we think about that.
근데 딱 나도 가르치거든. 다 먹어봐. 나한테 맞춰서 사람 땅에 됐다시 뭐 나도 들이 맞춰 니가 말다.
So, you know, if we think about that, we can go crazy. If we don't think, then we're okay. We think that's the bliss. Ignorance is bliss. But anyway, so, you know, I mean, just because we don't know doesn't mean there's no suffering, right? And it doesn't mean that we will not be born like that. We can be born like that, you know. We can be born as one of the animals, you know, and that will be exploited by others. We can, you know, so it's very important, you know, to have compassion and pray strongly for anybody, not only for us, but for anybody to be not born as them like that.
Okay? Yes.
Earlier you were talking about how identical twins, you know, they have different minds and different thoughts, but how do you explain in the context of karma how similar, if their bodies are the result of their karma, you know, and they're so similar, how do they have similar experience, past experience to create?
So what you want to do this one. You got the size one. That's the samba down, touch about the dogmara. You know, that's what you watching out of that. Samadi. Samanya, Pogu Samani, that's what you would do, and then you got the sign.
대원이 파 대원도 잘 잔이 짚어지 오면 나래 어떻게 어떻게 말해.
The man, the Sunday was king about
저 저걸 빼나 셔다 저 가르면 되는 것도 근데 자세 잔이 짚어요 말해. 대원도 따나 다 대원도 가르마 사원은 다 대원이 사지 마도 가도 제일 말한 거좀 대시자 도 말했어.
So yes, definitely they have created some kind of karma that is similar, exactly the same, and that caused them, you know, that resulted in the identical look, you know. But what kind of karma it is, of course there's some kind of karma, but what it is, of course, we can't tell exactly. We can only say it's some kind of karma, but what exactly it is, only Buddha can say. That's the details, you know, of the karma that sentient beings will not be able to say.
밤아 때려제거, 밤아 때려제거. 대양 안에 밤아 딱 밤만 내려질래야, 뒤에 내려질래야. 딱 머리 내려질 제거서 또 꼭딱 내고 들고 잡셔야 그랬어.
So like, these are the beings, two different kind of beings, who had a past life, who died at the same time, around the same time maybe, you know, and who conceived into the same womb at around the same time, like maybe a few seconds difference, so, you know. And then like, what kind of, all these conditions, how did they come together? What kind of karma did they create for all these conditions to come together? You know? It's very difficult, you know, to say exactly.
Okay? Okay, you know, question that we stop here. And, you know, my main point is, you know, try to read this book again, not just stop here, come here, okay, finish it, leave that. Don't do the same as I study English, okay? When I do study English, I go to school, I just book just for that. The next day, I go just pick up, then go there. It doesn't develop or doesn't prove my English. I do my homework. Therefore, you know, read again, think about more. You know, this is very important, okay? You don't have to read so many different books. You can read that book 10 times. You can 10 different understands. The book doesn't change the meaning, but you have more knowledge. Okay? It's very important. Read First thing you do, in order to practice, we need to understand the meaning. Then you understand the meaning, try to put into your practice, your daily life. Then you become most peaceful person, most relaxed person, less stressed. Okay, if you're able to put, but you're not able to practice, even you all day try to meditation, even you all day practice doesn't work, because you doesn't really move that deep your own mind. Okay, try to put a little bit every day practice, then it's work, it will change. If you're really good practice, 5-6 months, you become different person. You will feel. If you don't really put practice, you just do the
So when you dig ground, mud, the surface one is not very good. If you go down deeper, then you find a better soil.
Okay.
So sometimes then again people, through practicing Dharma or Buddhism, they become more stressful person, Yeah, they become very serious, doesn't talk to people, like that. Then it should not be like that. That's not a good result. Before you didn't know about it, right? Know about the karma, and then after you studying Buddhism, then you learn about karma, and it's all because of that person's karma, that person's bad. And because of this, because of that, and then you become more stressful like that. But that is not a good result, of practicing Buddhism.
Okay.
And so, you can look at your body and see what kind of karma you have created in the past. If you have a good body, that means you have created good karma. If you have a bad body, you can say that, body with a lot of diseases, a lot of problems, all this, then that means that's the result of bad karma. And then what kind of body you're going to have in the future? Look at this mind now. So if your mind is good, you will have a good result. If your mind is bad, then you will have a bad result, bad rebirth in the future.
Okay. And
so to have a good rebirth in the future, we have to tame our mind now. So that's the method we should apply to have a better future rebirth.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Finish. Trying to work to the job.
Okay, please turn to page 39 for Thanksgiving Mawa offering. Saji Urgyen Gyume Tokpa Revered Gyume Kati Sangye Shindu Mikte Oagi Rokona Black Jingla Chirpashu Eton Ame Kute Rapten Jing Narka Trinle Chokcher Kepadan Losan Tempedred Mesa Sungi Drowe Munsel TaktuEgyuchi Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niriyatayami. Teach Tsongkhapa's final Lamrim prayer. From my two collections, vast and space, I have amassed and working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading order for all those whose mind's wisdom I is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my life, one Jushi. May I find the best and complete created paths and teachings, and may I please all Buddhists by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of path as I have observed them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or one stray have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the 10-fold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. For a long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chen Rezik remain in life till samsara's end. And if that spontaneously fulfills all wishes. Om Yin Je Zum Du Ju Velam Che Che Sen On Chen Ten Gurgen Chan Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Hope so chang shi chang gan yong wei, ten zin yong ben wei, gong zo do boi zhe, chou shun hu wei lei mon tu zhu, wa da zo du jie gen du zhang ten zhu. Page 57, for dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Kurukulla state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Page 75, and same up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Geshe.
Go Chena.
Thank you very much, Geshe. Thank you, Damsho. Tomorrow, the Gunning Triple will be arriving here at the center at 3 p.m. The flight will arrive 2 p.m. At the airport, Terminal E. We'll put the information on the site. If you're interested to go to the airport, you're very welcome to be there. It's very great if you're there and you have a kata to welcome him. And if you need one, you can borrow one from the bookstore. But tomorrow, 3 p.m. here in the Gompa, there'll be a tea ceremony, and we'll also do a mandala offering. So it's a wonderful ceremony, but it's a wonderful event to come join. Everyone is welcome. Be advised that it's a flight, so you never know if it's going to be a little bit later than that. But we'll be here starting at 3 p.m. And then these teachings, you'll be teaching from Wednesday through to next week Monday. Please look at the calendar for the teachings. We'll be teaching on the precious Nagarjuna's precious garland. and we have books in the bookstore on that, and it's a beautiful text, so, feel free to buy the book. And that's it. Do you have any questions? Yep.
Can I add something, in preparation for this very special visit, we're gonna be doing, there's some cleaning and a few things that has to happen this afternoon, so if anybody has a little bit of time after class and can see me, be helpful. Wonderful, thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Thanks very much. Thanks, Ashila. Thanks, Geshe.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Weekend finish, right? Okay. You can get up, stand up, very stony. Okay. Record it. Okay. Have a good day, everyone.
Khensur, curricula.
Marta, no come here. Okay. Have a good day.
Everything went today, how did you?
Yeah,
Everything
everything
goes away?
puts away, yeah.
This one will be by the door.
Charlie's having class tomorrow, right?
Shirley's having class tomorrow, but I mean, I think for him, if the sound system is, I mean, what do you need to change? You move the speakers?
I was gonna move the speaker to the microphone.
I mean, that's fine. Or will they make it?
I'm sure does he need it, because otherwise I have to come like Tuesday morning or
He
Wednesday.
needs, I mean, he always uses the sound system, but, I mean, what will do?
If he did his class like this, that would be. Well,
I
because
think
the
he would-
microphones would be here, and then put one speaker there and one speaker there.
I think you can do his class like this. I would go with setting it up today, making the least amount of pressure for yourself,